And we are back. We tried to make it as quick as possible to get you guys moving and through. We're on to round number 2. We had a sweep for our first one on the day. It's time to move forward. We had talked about it before the break. It's EMT Marauders, our 2-time champs, versus VIMY Valkyries, the underdogs, the 15U squad, looking to pull off the upset here, Pepper. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this match goes. I really want the U15 Valkyries to come out swinging here. I think an upset this early into the qualies would be fantastic to watch.
Should definitely be fun to watch. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye as far as on the Valkyries. I feel like in this first game, seeing how they're able to, because again, there's that first like 60 to 90 seconds where it's kind of that adjustment period, right? To see if maybe just maybe they can come out here and put that team on their back foot.
Yeah, seeing the Valkyries here come in, I'm just excited to see what they can do with that first, couple minute and a half. But you do have to look at the other side. You have 2-time back-to-back national champions. Yeah. Like they're gonna be on that first minute and a half and be able to adapt quicker, I think, than the U15 team.
Let's go ahead and get down to it. This first game should tell us a lot as far as being able to see if the Valkyries can come out here and set the pace against a 2-time defending champions, or at least able to get the possession early and maybe not be able to build much towards the net. I think just the fact that you're able to get that first look, get first sort of possession, again, not just the first goal is it that gets that kind of nerves shaken loose, but even just that first possession. I'm excited for the Valkyries here.
Yeah, looking good so far, being able to put that shot towards the net, honestly, right off the kickoff. But we see the Marauders here coming back and being able to almost put a shot up, but not quite there to make the shot in.
First little bit's always that little bit of a feel out period, trying to get the adjustment there. Again, this is game number 1. Really be looking forward to as far as the Marauders being able to use their experience and start, once they get locked in, just how much pressure they can keep down here, and not like this. You're able to hold the line, and then unfortunately one missed touch for the Valkyries puts it in the back of their net.
Yeah, the own goal coming in has got to feel real bad for the Valkyries, especially coming into a difficult match like this.
All right, the first minute going by, it definitely feels like the Valkyries have shown at least the ability to stand up to this 2-time defending champions, trying to see if maybe you pull off the upset here. Again, remember, this is group stages, so to be able to force the Marauders into a game number 3, keep the series close, is just more of a motivating factor moving forward. It's going to be Nate who picks it up, has some space on the side, looks for Nick in the middle, bang, just like that, punches it in the back of the net, and it's a 1-2 combo as the Marauders go up by 2.
Yeah, just a very simple goal there from the Marauders, honestly, and just got me wondering where the Valkyries are in the defense there. Looks like they were just about to make it there, but not quite clear comms on who's going to be the one defending that shot.
Let's get on moving forward here. This is off the kickoff. Cash is going to be able to move it forward again for the Marauders. Nick's up in the sky and able to win the 50 on that, but it still will be able to find the clear here eventually as Ghost me out. Fortunately, though, Nate's right there at the midfield line, picks the pocket, looks for the double tap, but Arctic reads it like a book off the backboard and denies the opportunity.
Yeah, trying to get a little bit of some funky touches here in to try and mix up the Marauders and hopefully be able to get the ball out, but it looks like they just haven't been able to.
Right now, it feels like the Marauders have started to find the adjustments to be able to keep the pressure. They're always meeting with that resistance just inside the midfield line. Yeah, like we see there, the Valkyries might get the possession and be looking to flip the pitch. But man, they are struggling to break that midfield pressure of the Marauders.
Yeah, the Valkyries on the rotations here just looking awfully clumped up. Everyone's almost looking towards the ball instead of having some people across the pitch, to be able to come in on those failed touches. And as we speak of that, another goal coming in, Nate scoring for the Marauders again.
Simple look here, one touch up high, and then, for Nick, it's a second touch, which is an easy pass over to Nate. It is 4-0 here, and the experience really starting to show through. I really do feel like, as far as for the Valkyries, I think the big thing is just trying to focus on where the ball is going instead of where the ball is at. because right now the ball movement from the Marauders continues to catch this Valkyries defense off guard.
Yeah, the Marauders doing a fantastic job here, just making sure they're in place to get the ball back. You know, there's always someone back there to catch the ball when the Valkyries try and put it up towards the Marauders on the offensive side.
Oh, I like the spice getting run from Nick. I like the opportunity there. Unfortunately, couldn't quite pull it off. The defense says not today, but for the Marauders, it's still more possession forward. We spent 70% of the game down here on this orange half of the field. I think what's kind of surprising is actually that shot we just saw is the first one that hasn't hit the lace.
Yeah, going in from the Marauders, honestly, this is just a big learning opportunity, I think, for the Valkyries, is seeing what they can do versus the Marauders. I mean, like we said, there's a lot of games being played today, and in the round robin here, it's more about the learning and what you can get from these matches, more so than the results.
I think especially when you take into consideration, I think this is one of our two 15U teams here for the VIMY Valkyries. They will be playing in that grand finals later today. So when you play against a team like the Marauders, who naturally are going to be playing a little faster with their experience and their background, when they do get to that 15U grand finals, the game's going to feel so much slower to them. It's going to allow for them to truly lock in.
Yeah, exactly. That pacing that you just mentioned is, I think, what's really getting the Valkyries right now. They're just not ready for how fast the Marauders are responding to each of their hits.
And let's not forget, that's not just a 18U versus 15U thing. This Marauder squad does this against other 18U squads, right? I think for the VIMY Valkyries, you're showing that you're able to do just as well against these Marauders as they play against other 18U squads. So I don't think that it's necessarily a negative thing here. If anything, it's a positive. You've still got years to play here at the Scholastic level, and you're still showing that you're, able to show flashes of standing toe-to-toe with the best.
Yeah, exactly. And those flashes, I think, are the opportunities that this team needs to really take away from this. A little bit awkward on the defense there, unfortunately. But hey, that's a learning opportunity, which is, like I said, what this portion of the qualifiers is really about.
I know exactly what happened to Ghost there, because it happens to me all the time. You're looking mag in your cam, you're like, oh, I got to roll this way, but you forgot that you have to flip it because you're looking the wrong way and ends up flipping out of the play instead of into the play. Again, those are the small things that you'll be able to start making changes to with more experience. And I think as far as for being able to take this as a nice little learning lesson, they're still right on in it. May be able to find a goal here is Dragon. Not going to find the touch, but ghosts me out. Tries to find the pass across, but it will be Nate who steps into the passing lane. Now looks for a pass across instead. Finds its way into the back of the net. And that should wrap things up as far as for game number one.
Yeah, 7-0 on the score. It's looking rather rough with 30 seconds left on the clock here, but Valkyries just really paying attention to what they can learn from this game and what they can take into the next, and those adjustments that can be made in order to, maybe eke out a game 3 versus the Marauders.
I think the big thing is just try to take those lessons one possession at a time here, right? As you try and see what you can build moving forward, because this is a tough matchup here. And even still with that, it's not like the Marauders have been completely dominant as far as on the possession. You've been able to spend some time down over on that blue side. You've had a couple of decent looks as well. It's just, unfortunately, as good as the Marauders are on offense, they're also that good on defense. It's hard to break that back line.
Yeah, like you said, just taking it one step at a time there, I think, is going to be important, because it's very easy to get overwhelmed in a game like this where you're such an underdog, and it's easy to look at everything and then, point fingers and all of that. But I think just being able to take their time and realize they have that time to analyze it is going to be very important for the the Valkyries heading into the second game.
Valkyries, Marauders, Voyagers, put them back all day. Oh, we had the Voyagers last too. Yeah, but yeah, it is for the Valkyries here. I think as far as building blocks for against playing the two-time 18U champions, you have things that you feel pretty decent about. I felt like early on we're able to, it almost felt like as the game started to get out of control, they started questioning what they were doing out on the pitch instead of just getting to what was helping them find even the success that they were finding in that first 60, 90 seconds.
Yeah, 100%. I think that first 60, 90 seconds of the game were the best the best amount of time that the game that they played. After that, it really felt like they started doubting themselves. You know, they're like,
Yep.
should I be here? Is my rotations good? Am I getting in? Are we like, what are we
Exactly.
doing? Right. And when you start questioning yourself, that's when you really start to see the team fall apart. You need to have that confidence regardless of who you're playing against. And honestly, that just comes with experience.
Talking about experience, the Marauders, I know I'm seeing as far as in the game or in the tag player tags, we've got 2 grand champs from season 18. So I'll let you know that they have been playing at that high level of Rocket League, not just against other Scholastic players, but just in the servers themselves here in North America. But just like we talked about in that first series, the score of game number 1 no longer matters. We're going to go ahead and put zeros on either side of the scoreboard, and we're going to go ahead and take to the pitch here for game number 2 and get down and do what it do.
Yeah, let's see what the Valkyries can put together for this game here. Hopefully they had a little bit to breathe and have a sip of water and reset here.
It's a 9-second goal here. Really great possession off, and it's that first pinch that puts it off of the back wall, and unfortunately Dragon just unable to get across. You come rotating across, you're holding that sprint, or not the sprint, but you're trying to empty out your gas tank, and all you're doing is it almost feels like it's playing in slow motion as you see it go across the goal line. An unfortunate scenario to find yourself in, but it is only 1, and 1 you can get back as Dragon and company look to do so here.
Yeah, coming into the offensive half here, they're able to get the ball down, but it's going to come back here. However, Arctic is down there to keep the possession, ideally.
Oh, that's going to be another shot on target. It's right over Ghost's head, too, and just finds its way across the goal line. That's 2 in the opening 33 seconds. The Marauders really seem to be on a tear.
Yeah, for the Valkyries here, it's a little rough. Those first 2 goals happening so early and honestly so easily for the Marauders. It's got to be not a great feeling for them.
This is where you got to dig in deep. Got to make sure that you keep showing up for the next 4.5 minutes and show what it's all about. Even the small learning lessons learned in one series can really change over, get carried over as soon as that same day. You're playing against the best. Take that as a fun learning lesson. Don't worry about the score right now. Just worry about getting that 1% better. It's Nate who takes up to the sky, looks to carry it past 3, but ghosts me out. Eventually shuts it down.
Exactly. Just forget about the number in the top of the screen there and play your absolute best out, and that's where you can really find those learning opportunities and be able to figure out what you can do better the next time around.
Nate up in the sky, picks it up. Not gonna be able to get it past him because the defense reads it off of the backboard. Arctic doing a great job in that regards. Dragon follows it up and looks to try and push this thing past the midfield line. The second effort on that 50 with Nate does just that. Everybody swings and misses, which allows for the ball to be right in front of the net. I thought Arctic was gonna be the first to get there, but does get denied before putting it across the goal line.
Yeah, a really good attempt there from the Valkyries. Honestly, almost had it in just by a hair, wasn't able to make it through.
It's right there on the goal line. Ghosts me out, rises up and shuts that one down. Arctic looks for the release valve. Just can't quite find it here. The pressure as they continue to walk this thing downfield for the Marauders. It's Nick, gathers, carries, looks to be able to settle it down. Just can't quite yet, but it'll be Cash on the opposite side. Now getting their crack at it.
Yeah, and nice to see here if Dragon got that boost there, because I noticed he was out of boost in the net, and it looks like his boost got stolen out by the Marauders there. He did manage to get himself some boost, it looks like, and they're going on the offensive now.
Transition from Nick, leaves it up for Arctic, though, who will look to go try and flip the field here for VIMY as Dragon will be able to put it onto their hood, but only for just a moment. Nick jumps right on in, seizes the possession. That's a high arching pass that'll go over to the far side of the pitch. Not really in a position to be able to find a shot, but still at this point for the Marauders, they do have the ability with a 2-goal lead that if they wanted to, they could just simply play keep away.
Yeah, and I think honestly, if I'm looking from the Marauders side, I'd rather just see what we can do and just, really push it and go for those crazy plays and, experiment a little bit.
Get a chance to have some fun, you might as well. Also, what's the difference in winning by 5 or 2? There's really not any. It results in the same in the standings, right, as far as for that game differential, and also allows you to advance the game on forward. It's good sportsmanship too. I mean, all the way around, I'm just loving what I'm seeing from the Marauders.
Exactly. Looks like they are definitely one of the top contenders, which is expected of them given their national success. Whether or not they can hold their own against some of the other U18 teams that are at the top of this tournament, we'll have to see.
Cash looking to move it on up. Here's Nate off that back wall. Has Nick in the middle of the field. Nice pass to Nick, and Nick just can't quite find it. Cash looks for the shot, but Ghost Me Out will be able to find the save. Dragon looks to flip the pitch and flip the script, but will be denied here by Nick, and it'll be Arctic off the side. Has their crack at it, but Nick jumps in and swats it aside. Oh, what?
Very, very close goal almost from the Valkyries there, but just barely not going in. Blocked by his own teammate nonetheless.
It's gonna cross here. Well, final 40 seconds. The Valkyries surely would like to get something as a building block to move into round number 3 with. Gonna go with the low 50, wins it as far as keeping the possession down here. Kablamo takes out Cash, maybe an opportunity to keep the pressure down onto this Blues side, but it's Nick who's high in the sky on the corner, sends it down the opposite way. Nate picks it up, has Cash in the middle of the field. Nick looks to go low. Unfortunately, the post gets in his way.
Oh man, these touches, the ball is just flying right in front of the net, not quite going in on either side right now. We got 5 seconds left in the game here. Looks like they're going to try and put another one in. Marauders with 2 seconds left managed to put a third goal on the scoreboard.
Everyone gets involved. 1, 2, 3. It's 3-0 here at the end of game number 2 as the Marauders have most definitely reached into the cupboard, being able to break out the broom here, and also able to do so in perfect fashion, keeping the zeros on that opposite side of the scoreboard through 2 games.
Yeah, honestly, incredible performance from the Marauders, but like we said, they're the 2-time national champions. They are the favorites to win this match, and you know, I'm not very surprised that the match went the way it did.
Yeah, I think the big shout out to the Valkyries. I think it really shows a lot to the mental fortitude to not just kind of simply sit back and let the last 4 minutes play out, but to still, you know, keep the pedal down, still stay locked in. I'm excited to watch what this 15U squad does against the other 15U squad that they're slated to play against at the end of the day for the 15U Grand Finals. But for the Marauders, we mentioned 2-time champs. First look at them here as far as the fall. Still looking pretty darn good. We'll have to see next time they're on stream if they're able to keep that same form. But I do feel like the breakdown of that series pretty self-explanatory. So we're going to go ahead and round things out and send it off to a quick break as we do wait for the end of round number 2 to wrap on out. And then on the other side, we'll continue moving forward here. In round number 3, we've got LTCHS Raiders versus RNDL Altitude. Should be a fun one, still in those best of 3 round robins. So we'll be back with that right after a break.